Porsche's designs don't really change that much. In fact, the iconic 911 prides itself in keeping its form the same, despite spanning a run well over 50 years. And it's the same with the Cayenne, which has also stayed true to its original form. But there have been some changes over the years, and here in Fujairah, I got a chance to see all the iterations of the Cayenne up close and all at once. So, let's take a look at the evolution of the Porsche of SUVs. And it all starts with a car that, well, isn't a Cayenne at all. Okay, so Ferry Porsche always believed that they could sell an off-roader, and this rally-going 959, or rather the success of the rally-going 959, really prompted or rather inspired Porsche to go ahead and build the Cayenne. So yeah, you could call this the father, or rather the spiritual guide to the Porsche Cayenne. The 959, for those who don't know, was Porsche's high-tech twin-turbo supercar of the 1980s, which in turn was derived from the rally car you see here, which won the grueling Paris-Dakar rally. And now onto the Cayenne. So there it is, their first generation Cayenne. As you can see, they have kept the styling pretty much inspired by their sports car range. One thing to note is, I can't point it out to you though, but if you look at the headlights, the level of the headlights, they are higher than the bonnet. Now that is a typical Porsche sports car trait, and they tried to make that work on the SUV. While it did give the Porsche Cayenne the styling of the sports car range, it also did make the SUV look a bit portly and rounded though. That's something that Porsche do readily admit, and well, with each successive generation tried to clean up. In fact, all the lines and the curves that you see around the car kind of slowly sharpen and get a little more definition and muscle. Now this is the facelift of the first generation Cayenne, and the biggest difference is the slimmed down headlamps that no longer mirror those on the 911. The overall shape is the same, but the lines have been sharpened, and one place you can see this is at the top of the fender, which is now more defined and less rounded. This facelift was also the point when Porsche first introduced a diesel engine on the Cayenne, and now onto a rather special version of this Cayenne. No, this isn't a production car. This is the rally version of the Cayenne. And Porsche have it here just to remind us that just like the 959, the Cayenne went rallying too. This time in the Trans-Siberia Rally. This is the second generation Cayenne. And as you can see, there isn't a drastic departure in the overall form, but a whole lot of changes in detailing, like in the headlights and grille. One big shift in the design approach, however, is the bonnet level, which, thanks to a power bulge, now sits higher than the fenders and the headlamps. This was an intentional departure from Porsche's signature sports car styling, and the company says this was to give the SUV a sporty and less curvy look. And if you look at the sides and rear too, it's all been designed keeping this in mind. Like, for example, a sleeker profile for the side glass area and pointier tail lights that extend onto the tailgate. The second generation was also the first time the Cayenne got a plug-in hybrid option. With the facelift of the second generation, the overall form is still the same, but the big change is the bonnet, that is now not only higher than the headlights, but it also stretches to touch the headlamps and meets the fender at the top level. Earlier Cayennes had the bonnet set more inward. You'll notice the air dams at the front and the tail lamps at the rear are a bit more sharply cut as well, which was a sign of things to come for the next version. You have it, that's the third generation Cayenne that you see sitting on the helipad. And yeah, as you can probably tell, it looks very similar to its predecessor. However, once again, the lines have gotten a little more sharper, a little more defined, all in a bid to get more and more athletic. In the flesh, I must say it does work. On picture and video, it doesn't quite come out, but once you're standing in front of it, You can immediately tell that it's a lot more sleeker and more defined. As you can see now, the bonnet is again higher than the headlamp line, and the top edge of the fender is well defined and sharp as well. So yeah, it does work. One thing interesting though is at the rear. All previous generations of the Cayenne featured split tail lamps, or rather left and right tail lamps. This one, however, gets Porsche's new signature styling treatment, which is the continuous light band, and I must say it looks well neat, but also goes well with the athletic and sporty theme. So there you have it, the design journey of the Cayenne, from essentially a chunkier 911 on stilts to a more nuanced and cohesive SUV design with a personality all of its own. But which is your favorite version of the Cayenne? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And of course, hit the bell icon to stay notified every time we post a new video.